I think as you get older, you don't. We talked about this earlier, but I don't want to get stale.
Right.
Like you have to have a little bit of the swashbuckler in you. I started in the mailroom at UTA. Like I just wanted any job in Hollywood.
Right.
And it was just like it's a different Hollywood. Like Hollywood changes. I was trying to like I always try to come up with analogies for things to like so I can try to understand what's happening to me.
Yeah.
But like it's like, you know, I always like, okay, it's a little, you know, if you're gonna make something good, it's a little bit of math and a little bit of English and a little bit of chemistry. And I think with Hollywood, it's always just math, but it's just fuzzy math. So it's math that doesn't exactly work right.
Right, it's math that doesn't work out.
Yeah, it doesn't work out.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why they keep changing it.
That's a theorem that doesn't work.
Yeah, so like every time like I'm about to go make a movie, it's like, oh, okay, well you made Thick as Thieves. That was another Hollywood with different math. Now the math is this.
So you have a short that you made for $20,000, and
Yeah.
then that convinces them, whoever the producers and Alec Baldwin, that this kid, having made a short, and probably is your only short, right?
Yeah.
Your only short, to helm a $5.7 million feature?
Well, I knew a guy who, in the mailroom, who worked with Alec Baldwin, a guy named Glenn Zoller.
Yeah.
He was his assistant. And I was like, this is when I just made up numbers. I was like, okay, well, if I can get Alec Baldwin to play a small role in this movie, I can get $3 million. That was just the math I made up, fuzzy math.
You just made that up.
I just made that up.
Did you even have a movie yet? Or you just said,
No, I had a book.
So you had a book, okay.
I had a book.
That you had optioned?
No, I just started writing the script before I optioned.
This is Thick as
Thieves.
Right.
And then, so he kind of presented to Alec, and Alec's like, okay, whatever, you know, I don't know, you know.
Right.
And somehow it ended up that Alec, instead of playing a small role, played the lead.
Right.
And so in real math of the time, that meant $5.7 million.
Right.
Which is still, to this stage, the highest budget movie I've ever made.
That's a big budget.
Yeah.
What did you do to convince them that you could do it?
Nobody ever asked that question.
No one asked that?
No, I mean, they saw the short and they're like, okay, well,
we'll give you $5.7 million.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
It's weird with Hollywood. They ask other questions.
What'd they ask you?
Well, no, like, I mean, at the time, like, they were more concerned with, we need a blonde to sell Germany.
Right.
Like, that's what they want. That's what I'm talking about, the fuzzy math.
Right.
Like, there's some book that says, if you get a blonde actress who people know, we can sell this territory.
Oh, absolutely. There's the secret book.
The secret
that
book.
Basically, it's like everyone's got a stock quote next to them.
Yeah.
And it's this, yeah, exactly. They call it the Chinese menu,
yeah.
where if you can put this actor and this actor and this actor in it, then it'll trigger all these international sales. Even though those actors, when you think about a lot of those actors, they really aren't necessarily the best actor. Because I remember seeing something in the book where, like, you know, some action star, you can just plug him in, was like considered, you know, a million times more valuable than like Ian McKellen. Like Ian McKellen would not get your movie made. It didn't matter. Even though he was like a brilliant actor and amazing, but ex-action actor, you know, got your movie made in a second. So, yeah, it's true. There is a secret book. I've never actually seen it, but I've heard. I think they break it out. And
they don't want you to see the secret book.
Yeah, they don't want you to see the secret book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because so all they cared about is that, Scott, just make sure you put a blonde in there.
Yeah.
Don't cast a non-blonde.
To sell Germany for
right,
300.
Sell Germany. Right?
Yeah.
Because Germany's like blondes. Yeah, they do. They're like blondes over there.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
No, I don't know what Germany.
I don't know.
I like Germany though.
Yeah.
But and so I got to make the movie. It went to Sundance. You know, it was.
And
cool.
again, now Sundance. Now again, for most people.
Yeah.
You know, for most people, Sundance, at least for young filmmakers, that's, and it still remains. And I sort of have a problem with it, but Sundance remains this sort of like the first, you know, the Golden Gates opening. That's the first level you got to get into. This is get into Sundance. And, you know, Sundance is a festival with its own rules and, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But when you got in, which is obviously a very small percentage of filmmakers get in any year, did you somehow feel like, well, man, my first movie, I'm in Sundance, so I must have figured out the formulas a little bit.
Yeah, you know, you start to think you're a genius, you know, and it's like, okay, well, I can make anything I want to make. I mean, nothing was stopping me
Right.
from thinking that I knew what I was doing.
Right.
Okay, so I get into Sundance, and like, here's the funny thing about I love Sundance, by the way.
Why? Why?
It's awesome. It's just like it's
really
you know,
it's just like a cold street with people lined up.
I know, but it's like it's just fun. You know, it's just like the whole thing's fun. It's like you know, there's electricity in the streets and stuff. When you got a movie there,
right? Sure.
And they make it really. It unfortunately, I think what happens is they make it so nice for you that you think it's the center of the universe.
Sure.
When it's not.
Right.
Like that's what you think. You're like you think the way it feels there, and maybe that's a testament to them. I mean, it's like when you're there, you feel like, wow, this is real. I'm where it is happening.
Right. Well, that's what the Oscars are. I mean, so any self-congratulatory, like, look at us, we're amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and Sundance is certainly part of that.
They do a great job of it.
Sure, it's a great. It's a classic.
But I mean, it's funny too, though, when you look at, you know, you go. I do this a lot. Is just go back. I look through the 1999 Sundance book.
Sure.
And how many of these movies anybody remembers?
Right.
And it's one.
Right.
It's Blair Witch Project.
Right.
And people don't, you know, whatever.
Sure.
That's it.
Well, it's like the old George, you know, the end of Patton. All glory is fleeting. You know what I mean? It's like it's there for a second.
Yeah.
It isn't forever.
Yeah. I think as you get older, you don't. We talked about this earlier, but I don't want to get stale.
Right.
Like you have to have a little bit of the swashbuckler in you.
Absolutely, I agree.
Otherwise, you just, you know, I don't know, man. I like Hollywood's a rough place. I mean,
yes, for sure.
I mean, like I'll go to the 99. I remember going to the 99-cent store. You know, I go to the 99-cent store.
Yeah, I go to the 99-cent store.
Yeah, get some. I go there for food.
Right.
Yeah.
They have organic stuff at the 99-cent store.
Yeah, sometimes I'll do organic stuff.
It doesn't, not just macaroni.
So I'm at the 99-cent store, and there's this guy like an old guy, trying to like talk up this young chick.
Yeah.
And he's talking about like how he used to write for like, I don't know, Hello Larry or something, man.
Right.
And you're just like, oh, God.
Well, yeah.
You know, I could be right there.
Oh, yeah. No, you're an inch away.
You know, you're inches away from being the guy trying to impress the girl with Hello Larry or, you know, whatever the hell came out that nobody remembers or cares about or anything.
Get your film fix. Subscribe to Cinefix.